Here you go. First of all, thank you all for coming. Today is a day where I'm so excited to introduce our new head coach, Luke Walton. I will use this opportunity to welcome his family, wife, and everybody in Sacramento. We are so excited. Knowing Luke for a long time, it's kind of same soul about basketball. We understand each other very well, and I'm excited that we're going to build this team together and go to the next level. So.
Yeah, thank you, Vlade, and thanks to Divac and Martina, Peja, the group that really showed a lot of belief in me as far as wanting me to come over and try to help keep this thing moving in the right direction. I think it's a great group that Vlade has put together here. Very excited about getting to know these guys and getting to coach them. Very excited about the fact that they got this beautiful arena, practice facility, and obviously Sacramento has always had one of the best crowds in the NBA as far as the support they get, the type of atmosphere they have at their games. So it's a very exciting time for my family and I. My wife Bree with me here, and we're ready to get to work. So thank you, Vlade. Questions?
Luke, Jason Anderson from the Sacramento Bee. Welcome to Sacramento.
Thank you.
You were a part of 2 championship teams as a player with the Lakers and 2 more as an assistant coach with the Warriors. What did those experiences teach you about building and leading a championship team? And then if you could also just kind of talk about what you see for the future of this basketball team.
Yeah, the common theme I think that those teams all have is 1, culture, and 2, work ethic. And a lot of teams always see the final result of a championship team, and people don't realize how much hard work goes into the day-to-day practices and the players building bonds together and going through adversity together. So what I bring with me to this place is we got to have the right type of culture. It's got to be a great place. People love coming in here to work every day for practice, and then 2, we got to work. It's every team in this league has talent, so who's willing to outwork the next team? And I think from what I've been told and what I've seen from this core group of players here, they're on the right track right now.
Luke, Sean Cunningham, ABC 10. Just since your departure with LA and to this moment here, can you just describe just this process, how quickly everything kind of manifested, and just what you like most about this opportunity with Sacramento?
Very quickly.
Yeah, I mean it happened very fast, but it's I'm passionate about coaching. I love the game of basketball. I've known Vlade for a lot of years now, so when this opportunity came and he reached out and showed me the type of support and laid out his vision of where he sees this thing going, it was identical to how I saw, 1, the game, and 2, from the outside, what this Kings team was about and where they were headed to. So it was something that I talked to my wife, family about, and we decided that this is going to be an awesome chapter in our lives, and we want to move forward and do it. So it's been fast, but it's been very exciting too.
Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. Vlade, just a few days ago, we walked out of here. Some of us already had it after the other interview Thursday, I believe. We already had an idea that you had an idea of who you wanted. Talk about the process. Where did this come to? When did you make that call to say, "Hey, Luke, this is we want to come up here and talk to you, and we want you to be our guy"?
Well, it happened on Friday when he was available, and I was very excited that we set that meeting and we talked, and I knew right there, I found my guy. That was a process, very quick.
Did you look at anyone else?
Well, I had, a few guys in my head, but my first choice was Luke, and when he was available, it was for me to act fast.
James Ham, NBC Sports. You guys were teammates for 1 year with the Lakers. What is your relationship like, and why do you think that's going to work going forward? Maybe a little bit like Petrie and Rick Adelman, their era here in Sacramento.
Well, it was a fun. Huh?
Yeah, we had a. Vlade was a great vet, but more importantly, it's the way he sees the game, and the way I see the game. We agree as far as the way it should be played, what locker rooms should look like. There's the respect and history that comes from playing with Vlade, and if you're really in it and your teammates, that those bonds last for a lifetime. So there's trust. That's already between us that would take years to build without having that history together. And like I said, I'm so excited to work side by side with him and this crew up here.
Josh Dubois with Associated Press. Luke, you interviewed here a couple years ago. Also, what makes this such a desirable job for you right now?
Well, I didn't interview. No. I did. But
it was my thought, but he wasn't available. So
yeah. But when you see what this team has done in the group a group of players that Vlade has brought in here, and you see the way they play. They play fast. They have three-point shooting. They're young. They're versatile, and that's how I want to play. That's how I think the game should be played. And all of that is right there with this group. There's still room, a need for improvement, like with almost every team in the league. But what this team could be, and what I think this team will be, is very, very exciting from a coaching standpoint.
Michelle Dapper, KCRA. Luke, welcome to Sacramento. First of all, how does it feel to wear Kings purple? And being a former Laker, does that add any fuel to this well-known rivalry?
Not for me. I'm just excited about this job. I really am. Vlade said it's easy. We bleed purple. That's an easy answer. So it's been it's only been a short time, but the idea of starting to work with this group is just exciting. To be in this city. I have family that lives in Davis, and my granddad's from Taft, so we have some people around here that make it. It feels like home still in a sense. So it's a very exciting time for us, and we're really looking forward to it.
Luke, you've been around basketball since you're a kid. With your dad and everything else, but you also have played for some incredible coaches. Whose style do you sort of gravitate towards?
Well, it changes because the game's changed a lot. The game is way different right now than it's ever been, and it's more about the spacing and three-point shooting. But that's not what I take from the other coaches. I mean, that part of it, coaching with Golden State and Steve Kerr, is a big influence on how I see today's game. But, you look back at the other coaches I've had, Hall of Fame coaches, and it's about the attention to detail that they had, holding people to accountable or to the standard of play that they wanted as a coach. That really separates the great coaches I've played for and the way that they've influenced me as a young coach now.
And Luke, Jason Jones, The Athletic. Just wondering, based on your previous 3 years, what did you learn from your first head coaching job that you think prepares you for this opportunity or make you a better coach?
Well, I learned a lot. It's the best way to learn, in my opinion, is experience, and I had a lot of experiences over these last 3 years, and I feel much more prepared and advanced as a coach right now than I did 3 years ago. So I'm not going to get into the details of everything, but I do, I do feel like I'm much further along through the experiences I've had over the last 3 years.
Luke, Marshall Harris with CBS 13. Just getting started, you say you're eager to get to work. Is there a starting point for you specifically that you're looking at? I mean, you're more than vaguely familiar with this team, obviously.
Yeah, and You know, it starts with watching film on every one of the guys on the roster. You know, having the film crew break down things that this group did well and things that they need to, you know, work on. It's, you know, sitting with Vlade for the next few days and going over staffing and my vision as far as the type of people I like in here, and mixing that with his vision and who he likes in here. So the work starts as soon as we, well, maybe not as soon as we get done with this press conference, but the work starts tomorrow, really. And I'll be back and forth for a while because I have some stuff I got to take care of still. But you know, until we get everything up and running to where we want it, the work won't stop.
Working with a younger team in Los Angeles, does that help here in Sacramento? Do you see similarities with that?
Absolutely. There's a great young core down there, and I thoroughly I thank them and enjoyed that time getting to coach them and develop them and watch them improve. And I think this team has a very similar talented young core. So it's the experience did help and will help, and I'm really looking forward to doing that same type of thing with this group.
Vlade, Marcos Bertel, Sacramento Bee. Can you expand on your answer a little bit? You moved really quickly on Luke. Can you tell us a little more why you felt he was the right person and what he possessed that you think would be a great fit here in Sacramento?
Well, like I said before, I know Luke for a long time, and so I know how he views basketball, and they're very similar to what I view. So, like I said, when I realized he's available, then it was an easy call for me to kind of reach out and sit down and talk about opportunity. I think Luke did a great job, you know, in the last 3 years and a few years before as his assistant in Golden State. So I follow his career just like I'm sure he followed mine. So we know about each other a lot. So I didn't want to waste time because I felt very confident that that's the right guy for us to go to the next level. You know, we have one of the fastest kids, you know, as a point guard in the league, so we got to take advantage of it.
Luke, James Hammond, NBC Sports. When you look at the roster that you are inheriting, as opposed to what you had last year in Los Angeles, you have a lot more three-point shooters. How much does that play into what you're trying to do, and how much you can kind of grow what you started there?
Well, we're going to shoot a lot of threes this year. I mean, it's, you know, you as the games go, you always, you know, you take what the defense gives you, but you have a philosophy of how you want to play. And I think as a coach, it's your job to kind of get to know your roster and then try to put them what's best for this group of players. And I think we have a group that's shooting a lot of threes is what's best for us. So, like I said, we're going to try. You know, we're going to play fast. Vlade just touched on it. We have one of the fastest point guards in the league on our team. You know, we got versatile players that can get out and run the wings, and we have shooting. So, those are things we're going to be working on from day one of training camp. Well, before that, in developing with guys this summer when we get working with them individually and carry that into training camp.
Luke, Lena Washington, ABC 10. Just to follow up on that, when you do look at this roster, you see the names like De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley. Is there a player that you look at that jumps out at you as somebody that you can take to that next level, somebody you can work with and kind of bring their game to another level in this next year?
Well, that's part of the exciting thing. I think they all fit in that mold. You know, it's a nice mix of, even though, you know, even Buddy's only been in the league a few years, he's a little bit older, and they brought in Harrison Barnes, who I've coached with before and know what he's all about. So there's a nice mix going on, but they're all still in those phases of their career that they can make big jumps. And I think, yeah, Marvin, Fox, these guys, they can do it, and I think they will do it. But it's not just one or two guys. It's really the whole group that can still continue to make big strides.
Luke, again, Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. We've seen a lot of collapses in the second half of the season, especially in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. What is your philosophy on defense and working with these type of young players?
Defense wins. Defense wins championships. It's just I love offense. I love how beautiful it can be when you got 5 guys moving the ball and shooting and everything else, but defense is how you win when it really counts. So we're going to have we'll put a huge emphasis on our defense, challenge our guys daily, start practices with defense in the front of the the practice plan, just to kind of prioritize how important it is to us.
Michelle Dapper, KCRA again. When you guys talk about the next level, this is for both of you guys, what is that next level? Is that 40 wins? Is that playoffs? Is that something you guys have talked about already?
Well, I guess it starts from the numbers. You want to always be better. So we try to create here a winning culture that's going to take us to the next level. Yeah.
To me, it's about building the habits. The winning takes care of itself. When you have the right habits, you have the right people, and you're playing the right way. So yeah, we want to win more. We always want to win more. We want to be in the playoffs. We ultimately want to win championships. But all of that starts with how we build and create our habits. Day one on the practice floor, and letting that carry over to the games.
Luke, Marshall here, CBS 13 again. You talked a little bit about defense and the importance of it. Working with the young team that you just came from and another young core now, what in the experience that you learned from it will help with that defensive development, especially with young players getting acclimated in the first 2 to 3 years in the league?
Communications, top, the most important defensively, especially in today's game with the amount of switching and versatility and the way that this game is being played. If you got to change your coverages throughout, and if your communication isn't great, you're going to have mishaps and give up layups and blown coverages. So communication would be our top thing, and then it's got the effort and the want have to be there. You have to want to be a good defensive team, and I think we from what I've been told, we have a group that loves that type of challenge.
Deuce Mason with the Sacramento Kings. Luke, I know this process has moved fast. Have you had a chance to talk with any of the guys, any of the players yet? And if so, what was your message to them?
Well, I've reached out to a couple of them on the phone just to, say hello. Nothing too, in depth. And a bunch of the guys were here today. So we sat around and talked hoops a little bit, but that will come this summer. I plan on having individual meetings with each of them, really getting into details as far as where we need to grow as a group and where they need to grow individually so that we can have this success that we're sitting here talking about next season. But those days will come.
Luke, do you plan on coaching Summer League at all?
No, I'm not. I'll have one of my assistants coach Summer League. I'll be there and I'll be active at all the practices, but one of my assistants will do that.
Vlade, we heard from you last week talking about the fact that you needed a coach that would be in lockstep when you try to find ways to improve this team in terms of personnel. What is your timeline now that you have your head coach and your next steps and things that you're going to do?
Well, we're going to work together, We got a lot of work to do, a lot of workouts, draft, everything that's going to need to be addressed before the season starts. So I found a teammate. We're going to work together, and it's going to be an exciting year for us.
Luke, Sean Cunningham, ABC 10. Realizing you don't really want to, go down what happened all this last year in LA, but is it kind of a breath of fresh air to have this kind of a fresh start here, a new situation with?
I'm excited about it, and I've said it. I'm forever grateful to Jeannie and the Bus family. We love LA. My family loves LA, but we are very excited about this opportunity, and this is a great, it's a great opportunity for us, and we are thrilled about it.
And then just realizing that the draft, even though you guys don't have a first-round pick, it's not here, and the offseason hasn't really begun. Just preliminary, when you look at this team, what is it that this team needs?
Well, we'll get into all that. Vlade's got a good understanding on this team and whatnot, and me and him will sit with Peja and whoever else in these rooms above us, and we'll dissect all of that. And it'll be Vlade's decision at the end, and we'll all give our opinions and continue to try to make this team better.
Luke, Jason Anderson again with the Sacramento Bee. I know this all happened really quickly, but in your mind, when this job opened up, was it the most desirable job on the market, and what were some of the considerations when you made that decision?
Yeah, it was. You know, I think initially I was going to take some time and just relax, try to get mentally ready for what was going to come next.
Sorry, Bring, he was planning to take you for a vacation, and I was like, no.
But when Vlade called and this team, it was something that I had, like I said, I talked to my family about, and I talked quickly because I knew how, you know, these type of opportunities don't come available very often. And you know, Dave did a great job with this team, and we play against them, and watching film and scouting them, they're hard. They are a good team, and I like I said, I love coaching. So having that opportunity and with this type of talented team, and then doing it alongside somebody that, you know, the way I feel about Vlade made it just too good to pass on.
Again, thank you, all of you, for coming today. Appreciate it.